Hello, and thanks for joining us in this session. My name is Priya Vaidyanathan, and I'm a product lead in the Power Pages team.
Hello, I'm Sandeepan Rajani, and I'm also a product lead in the Power Pages team.
Sandeep and I are excited to unveil Power Pages now in preview. Power Pages is an enterprise-grade, low-code platform for creating, hosting, administrating rich, interactive, data-first business web apps worldwide. Low-code enables developers to rapidly and collaboratively build apps to easily surface business data to the right people in the right context in real time. Microsoft Power Pages is the newest member of the Power Platform family. Together, all the Power Platform products work as a holistic low-code solution to solve all business needs, powered by Microsoft's trusted business data platform, Dataverse. And now we're expanding that capability further by introducing Power Pages to build external-facing business-centric data websites. Power Pages can be used by makers of all tech fluency, from low-code makers to IT pros to pro developers. You can start from scratch in our low-code studio or leverage fully featured customizable templates to suit your unique business needs, or use Visual Studio Code to code advanced capabilities using JavaScript, Liquid templates, code components, and web APIs. And with its origins in Power Apps portals, Power Pages is a scalable platform already supporting millions of users today across all industries. Power Pages is especially critical to governments today as they modernize processes and engage at scale with millions of citizens. I'm so excited for all developers, whether low-code or code-first, to start using Power Pages today to build modern, professional websites. Let's take a look at some of these capabilities in our product.
After signing up, you are guided through our product first run experience to create your first site. After you click Get Started, you're asked a simple questionnaire on whether you've had any experience creating sites before, so we can tailor the experience accordingly. Then you're asked to select one from one of our set of templates to create your first site. As you can see, there are a variety of patterns and templates available to choose from, which we will discuss in detail later. Choosing the default design template allows you to see the various screens available with it across desktop as well as mobile. Once you select Choose Template, we automatically give your site a name and a web address, which we check to make sure is available. We also create a trial environment for you. If you are familiar with Power Platform and have an existing environment in which you'd like to create your portal, you can go ahead and select that here. Once you click Done, we automatically start creating your trial environment and creating your portal within that environment. This process could take a couple of minutes, and we give you a little bit of information on what is happening in the background while we're doing this. Once the site is ready, the studio loads. Inside of the studio, we kickstart our Studio First Run tour. Here, we guide you through the core workspaces and key capabilities available in our new studio. First, we talk about our Pages workspace. The Pages workspace allows you to create and add pages. Next, we highlight our Studio's in-context WYSIWYG editor. You can easily select a section to edit it or add sections above and below it. Sections can also be selected and deleted. The second key workspace is our styling workspace. Here you'll notice several out-of-box themes that are available for you to choose from. Each theme can also have a color palette that can be completely customized to fit your company's brand and theme. In addition to choosing your color palette, you also have the ability to change your fonts, button style, and links. The third key workspace is the data workspace. Here is where you can easily create tables to display data on your site and forms to securely capture information in those tables. Your data is securely stored in Dataverse. Finally, the tour guides you to preview the site that we have just created. When you click on Preview, you have two options. One, to scan the QR code and see the site's responsive layout running live on your mobile device, or clicking on Desktop Preview. This opens up the site in a new tab. Here, you're able to see the site that you just created running live in a browser window. Coming back to the studio, you can get back to the Pages workspace to begin editing and customizing your site. When you're done editing and making changes to the site, you simply press the Home button to get back to the product's homepage. The homepage is a front door to the Power Pages product. Here, you will find the sites that you've recently created. Each site is represented with a rich visual thumbnail of the site homepage. The sites are represented in a site card. Each site card exposes actions for you to quickly edit the site inside of our new design studio, as well as preview it in a new tab. You also have other actions to be able to share the URL of the site quickly, manage the site inside of the Portal Admin Center, and delete this site. Site cards also give you quick suggested next steps to help you take it further on each of these sites that you're creating. The main call to action on the homepage is the Create Site action. Create Site takes you through the familiar full-screen Create Wizard experience that many of you have seen from our product First Run experience. The second marquee experience of our product is the Templates Hub. The Templates Hub showcases high-value business solution templates that showcase the platform's breadth and depth. The default design template helps you get started quickly and easily to create your first Power Pages site or any additional site that you want to customize to your specific business need. But we have some richer templates like a scheduling pattern template and a registration pattern template that showcase some advanced pro developer capabilities that are available in our platform. Let's take a look at the Schedule a Meeting with a Bank Advisor template. This is a scheduling pattern template that utilizes an advanced form to help you schedule a meeting. It creates code components for the scheduling as well as utilizes a Power Automate flow to send email reminders. This site is fully responsive across desktop as well as mobile. We also have a registration pattern that showcases how you can customize the out-of-box list and style them as cards through custom code. And the site is again fully responsive across desktop as well as mobile. These patterns serve as great blueprints and inspiration for you to get started and build your next site from. There are some additional patterns that you'll also see across the top, progress tracking being another pattern, and application submission being another pattern. These templates will come soon and light up inside of our Templates Hub. The third marquee experience of our product is the Learn Hub. The Learn Hub makes it easy to access the documentation, learn modules, and training videos right from within the product. Here you can find all the topics and articles to help you get started. Quickly hone in on training videos that will show you step-by-step instructions on how to design your page, set up your brand kit, create and add lists to your page, add forms, configure table permissions, and more. When you're ready to go further, we have detailed documentation that show you how to design and build sites using our Pages workspace. You can also learn how to go further to connect to Dataverse and take advantage of some of the more advanced concepts inside of Dataverse. You can learn to customize and extend your site through some of the pro developer capabilities through our rich documentation and how-to guides made available here. You can learn more about the platform's security capabilities and how to secure your site. We also offer a great Go Live checklist that will help you learn how to go from building and all the way to launching and making your site ready to handle the traffic at scale. And finally, once your site is live, we have some great documentation that show you how you can continue to administer and monitor your site. If you don't see the topics you need right here, you can simply suggest another topic that you'd like for us to add inside of our Learning Hub. You can also be connected to the community for Power Pages simply by clicking on this tile here that will take you directly to the Power Pages community site.
In addition to the low-code innovative experiences I just showed you, Power Pages has robust capabilities for pro developers and IT pros. As a hosting platform, it offers elastic scaling with high availability and platform security. You can easily enable a CDN, which utilizes Microsoft Edge Network to improve site performance. You can also enable Azure Web Application Firewall capabilities automatically for your portal to prevent against common web application vulnerabilities. Power Pages offers turnkey authentication and authorization built in with a secure data layer with role-based access control. Developers no longer have to build everything from the ground up. They can use a mature planet-scale platform to go a lot faster. Write the code where it's needed most using our Pro Developer capabilities. You can make customizations with our inline code editor from Studio for quick targeted changes. Or use VS Code extensions, code components, web APIs, liquid tags, and more for advanced site customization. And you can also use GitHub and Azure DevOps for continuous integration and delivery as you do your development workflows. Let's take a look at how all these capabilities can be used to build and launch a Power Pages site using both low-code and Pro Developer capabilities. Today, we will explore building a site for a nonprofit organization that focuses on creating free STEM camps in various communities. They work with a staff of volunteer teachers in local schools to run their camps. This organization has several partner companies that donate computers for their camps. The partner companies often provide help and support to maintain the computers so the volunteer staff can focus on teaching the material to the students. These computers often require regular updates, clean resets, and other technical support between camp sessions. Anytime one of the computers fails, they need to be sent to the partner company for fixing or replacement. The teachers needed a reliable way to access the list of computers available in their community camp for troubleshooting guides, as well as to request fixes or replacements when the machines were broken. The nonprofit organization needed a way to be able to easily connect their partner company support guides with their volunteer teachers. Let's explore how we can use Power Pages to build a site and save hours of tedious data entry in Excel sheets and emails back and forth between everyone. The designer for this project had sent over a Figma file with the site's designs. We can see the page layouts and color schemes specified, along with some of the behavior required. The home page has a hero section with a background image, a 3-column layout, and a video at the bottom. We also have to build a few additional pages where the user has to be signed in to see it. The signed in page displays a list of computers available in the camp, and it's also personalized to the person who signed in. We also have to create a page for teachers to create support ticket requests when they have a computer that needs repair or replacement. Let's get started.
To begin creating our site, we will first set up our site colors. Inside of the Design Studio, choose the Styling workspace. Inside of the Styling workspace, I'm going to pick a theme that closely resembles the color palette I'm going to be building out. The neutral palette looks closer, so I'm going to choose that. Let me go ahead and continue to update the color palette based on what's been specified to me by my designer. Next, let's customize our homepage layout. I go back to the Pages workspace, and from here, I can remove the sections I won't be using in my site. I will start by deleting the sections that I don't want to see in my homepage based on the design that my designer has provided me. I have a hero section, I have a 3-card layout, but I showcase a video as the only video on the page, not as part of a 2-column video. To make that happen, I will delete this section and the spacer and add a video section right below it. I add a section and choose to insert video. I can always come back and add my YouTube embed URL here later. Now, let's customize our header to match our company brand. First, I'm going to change the background color to be a neutral white. Next, I'm going to change the image, which is the logo, and replace it with the logo provided by my designer. I can simply drag to adjust the logo size and increase it to fit within the header. And finally, I can update the company name. Next, we're going to set up the content in the main sections of our page. Let's start with the first section. The first section is a 2-column layout. I know I want the section to have an image background, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this image. Next, I'll select the section, choose background, and choose image. Now I can easily add an image that I want to set as the background here. I already have an image laid out for me, and I do know I need this section to be a bit taller than it currently is. In the settings panel, I can easily open it up and adjust the section height. There. Now I have an opportunity to come back and modify the text that is shown in the hero section. Below that, I can quickly modify this section. First, I'll change the background to match the color that the designer specified. Next, I'll start to simply replace the images I want to have in my 3-card sections. Finally, I will change the YouTube embed URL. But first, I want to modify the section background color to map to what my designer wanted this to look like. I can simply click on the video tag and open up the video config panel. Here, I can choose the YouTube embed URL, a Microsoft Stream URL, or provide an absolute video URL that I have. I know the video that I want to showcase is already on YouTube, so I will go ahead and add that. Now, let's preview our site to see how our design has come together. Click on Preview and on Desktop to load the site in a new tab. So far, most of the content I've put in looks good. I have a few more things I can come back and fix alignment and update the text for. Let's head back to the Pages workspace because now I want to fix the set of pages that show up as part of my site. When I created my site, I got automatically my home page created for me along with a page called Pages with some subpages in it and a Contact Us page. I'm going to remove these 2 pages because I will not be using them as part of my site. Let me delete all of them. And finally, I'm going to create a new page. To create a new page, you simply add the plus button here. The page I need to show is all about the computers that the teachers here can manage and get troubleshooting information for. So let's call them Manage Equipment. And I'm just going to create my page layout. Let me start with a simple page layout such as this and get started. Once my page is created, you'll see it show up in the Pages workspace. There are extra sections here that I probably don't need. I just need a header and a place for a list of equipment. So I'm going to start deleting the sections I don't need from the page. Let's set the background for my page header. I'm going to go to Background, add an image, and choose the image I want here. As you can see, the text does not render properly, so I can quickly click in the text editor and change the font as well. I'm going to come back and fix that a little bit later. Below the section header, I actually want to add a list. So I'm going to add a section here, add a 1-column section, and say List. I'll choose my existing list later, so for now I'm just going to cancel it so I know this is where my list of equipment will show up. Now I want to add one other page under Other Pages. Other Pages means these pages will not show up in my navigation. So click on Other Pages. This page will be used to capture tickets that teachers can create to report issues with their computer. So I'm going to call it Open Ticket. Then I'll pick a blank page to start from. Once the page is created, it automatically appears in my left nav. As you can see, the blank page gives me a header, a footer, and one section within which I will be creating my form. I'll come back and add the form later once I've created my tables. Now, as you can see, after creating my Open Ticket page and Manage Equipment page, my site's navigation has been updated. I can simply expand the Pages workspace to see all the links that are going to be in my header for my site navigation. Next, I want to take a look at how I can personalize my Manage Equipment page. I want to be able to have a personalized greeting for the signed in user show up in the banner. Let's take a look at how we can do that. You simply click on the section, and we talked about having some pro developer capabilities integrated deeply with VS Code, but we also have a simple inline code editor you can quickly access for small changes like this. Let's scroll down to find where the greeting shows up. Here we say create an engaging headline. This is exactly the space where I want to be able to change the greeting shown. I can add a quick liquid tag which recognizes who the signed in user is. If the user is signed in, we say hello and welcome them by their full name. If they are not signed in, we just say welcome. Let's save and see how these changes look. I have a little bit of text that's been included in here. I'm going to remove that, save it, and now I can see the greeting say exactly what I want it to say. Perfect. Let's close the editor, and now I just want to remove this button because I don't have any more actions that I can need to take here. Actually, the one action I do want it to take is to open a ticket. Once I create my form, I'll come back and update this button.
Now, let's take a look at how we expand the site that has currently been built. I'm working as part of a team on this site, and my colleague has already set up the site's data model for me using the intuitive table designer. And now he's working on getting the list of computer equipment into the tables. We will focus on creating the page for teachers to request repairs for their computers. Following this, Sandeep will show you how we secure the site and do advanced customizations with our pro developer capabilities.
I now want to be able to add a form to my open ticket page. Before I do that, I first need to go create the form inside of the data workspace. When I go to the data workspace, I know I want to be able to capture repair requests against the equipment activity table. The equipment activity table tracks each equipment by its ID and what is the recent activity against it, which typically means like troubleshooting or repair requests from different community members. When I've selected the equipment activity table, if I click on forms, this is how I can create my first form. You can see there's an out-of-box form automatically created for me, but let's go ahead and create our first form. To open a ticket, it's basically to request a repair. So I'm going to call this form repair request. Once I click on create form, the data workspace will automatically generate a simple form for me to modify and get started from. This form will contain some of the key columns and from my equipment activity table. It has the subject, the equipment activity, the equipment that's affected, description, and what the current status is. I want to be able to modify this form to actually capture some key information I need when a teacher is submitting a request. The first is, let's modify this. Instead of saying subject, in the form, I actually want it to be a clearer descriptor of what I'm asking for. This is a short description of the issue. With that done, I can simply slide it out, and you can see my label for that input field has been quickly updated. The next key information I want to capture is what type of activity is this, and it'll automatically default to repair. The thing after that is I don't really care about which equipment was affected specifically, but I do want priority. To be able to add another field, I simply add field, and I can drag and drop and place priority where I want it to be. Now there is the priority of this issue. And I'll start removing the fields that I don't want. Fields that are required cannot be deleted. Finally, I want a description field to be a rich multi-line editor. The way I can do that, this is already capturing multi-line text, is by adding a component. First, let's remove this description field, and we'll add it back soon. I'll click on Add a Component, and as a component, I'll choose Rich Text Editor Control. Now, once I have chosen this Rich Text Editor Control, I can choose which column I want it to be mapped to. So I'm going to choose the description field and click Done. that done, now you can see the rich text editor control automatically shows inside of my form for the description. I'm just going to finally update the description label to say issue details. With that, I can save all the changes for my form. And once the form is saved, I publish it so that once the form is published, these changes can be pulled in to my Pages workspace. So now that my form has been created, I'm going to go back to the Pages workspace and choose the open ticket page that I was working on. As you can see, this is the section waiting for me to have my form inserted in. I click on Form, and now I can automatically choose the table and the form. So let's find the equipment activity table here. Once I select my table, I can automatically choose from the forms that are available as part of this table. I'll choose Repair Request and select OK. Now my form has been added and it's been saved. Let's just sync the configuration to make sure we have all the changes saved completely. And then when we preview the site, we'll be able to see the form running on this page. I'm going to go ahead, click Preview, choose Desktop, and preview the form showing on this page. And now we can see the short description of the issue, the activity type, the priority, the equipment that's been affected, and I can type in my details. As you can see, the issue details doesn't show as the rich text control I was expecting it to be when I set it in the form designer. To fix this, there's a little bit of configuration we need to add from the Portal Management app. Coming back to the studio, if you click on the ellipses, you can easily access the Portal Management app for advanced configuration of the site. When you click on the Portal Management app, we automatically open it to the website we are working on. And here you can see that this is the site and these are the basic forms associated with it. Here is the repair request form I had just recently created. Inside the repair request form, under basic form metadata, need to create a new basic form metadata. Here, the type is going to be an attribute. And for this attribute, I'm going to select the field that I had just added the code component to and give it a label and set the control style to be a code component. Now I can save and close this form. Coming back to my studio, let's sync the configuration. And refresh the preview. As the site loads, you can now see my issue details is now updated to show as the rich text editor that we added it to be.
Thank you, Priya. I would like to start by calling out that Power Pages sites are secure. You have full control over authentication, that is, you decide how your users sign in and access the site. Also, to authorize access, you get to decide what pages and data the users have access to after they sign in. Now let's look at how these aspects are configured from the setup workspace for the site we are building. For authentication setup, I first navigate to the setup workspace. Power Pages supports authentication protocols and providers that allow you to choose one or more sign-in options that your site users would most commonly use. It supports standard authentication protocols that are used by some of the popular providers such as Azure AD B2C, Okta, Microsoft, Google, etc. I can configure Azure AD B2C by clicking on Configure, where it provides me a guided wizard that abstracts me from the complexities of Azure configuration. Here, I also have a choice to configure one of the other known providers by manually entering the configuration settings, such as client ID and client secret. Apart from these providers, I can also integrate with custom auth providers by choosing Other and selecting one of the standard protocols of OpenID Connect, SAML 2.0, or WS Federation. For now, I choose Azure Active Directory as my auth provider for this portal, which comes pre-configured with every Power Pages site. For authorization, Power Pages provides a robust role-based access control for both pages and data. As an example, I have this list on my Manage Equipment web page where I see that the users have this message shown that they do not have permissions to view these records. To ensure all of the logged in volunteers can see devices that belong to their community, I navigate to the Table Permissions section within the Setup workspace. Here, I can see that the equipment unit table is already added. However, it is missing some permissions, and also it tells me that because of this, other permissions are also broken on this site. I can quickly open and review the settings that this is the right table. And also the scope is currently set to account, which makes sure that the equipment units that are seen by a volunteer are only the ones that are related to their community. I see this confirmation in the visual as well. I can now set read, write, append, and append permissions to this setting, and I can go and add here and check the authenticated users roles to ensure that only the volunteers that log into this website with their credentials are the ones that can see the devices. With just these things, I click and save. As I come back to my site and refresh the Manage Equipment page, I can see that the records have started showing up as a result of the table permissions that I just provided. Our Fusion team has already built out a details page that uses a variety of professional development options of Power Pages, such as web templates that use Liquid Code, JavaScript, web APIs, and custom code components. Let's see how some of these business requirements were achieved by the professional developers to complete this page. I have been working on this equipment details page used by volunteers to read details of an equipment, learn from training videos, troubleshoot using knowledge articles, and see a maintenance history and raise new support requests. There are certain elements that are missing on this page that I would like to complete using the developer tools and code. The equipment serial number is missing from the left-hand panel, and also the video gallery has not been introduced yet. Also, there are some formatting issues on this page. I'll now walk through the experience of a developer using code and configuration to complete this page. I have Visual Studio Code set up, and also I have installed the Power Platform tools already. With the tools installed, I can now use the pack.cli command for downloading my Power Pages site as files to store locally on my disk, or I can also source control them in GitHub. This command starts to download all the files, and once they are downloaded, you can actually see them in your Explorer. This is my Power Pages site as all the files and all the components that you have. Now that my files are downloaded, I'll make changes to the details page. The details page works via web templates that promote extensibility and reusability of code and layouts. I navigate to my web templates folder and locate the equipment details web template. Once I open this, I can see that the template uses the liquid tag on the top to read the equipment ID from the ID parameter that will be passed to this page from the equipment list page via a query string. The first part of this template is written using JavaScript, where I have a wrapper method to call my web APIs on the portal securely. You can see at line number 31 is where I have my web API request constructed to query the equipment units, which fetch the equipment details for my page. Here, I am also able to use Liquid to pass my equipment ID as a parameter. And in the select clause, I can see that I am missing the equipment number, and that was the reason why it wasn't showing on my web page. I enter that and hit save. As I scroll to the lower part of this web template, you can see that there are individual web templates being included that take care of the individual aspects of this page on the right hand side. So the troubleshooting section with knowledge articles, the maintenance records list, etc. are all being rendered as a result of these additional web templates that this primary web template is loading. As you can see, here I have a to-do to include the equipment training video gallery. For that, I'm going to make use of another web template called the equipment video gallery. Here, I have a to-do as well to include the video gallery. So let me show you how we can quickly add a code for this. I have some pre-written code here. So as you can see, this has some HTML and it has this another liquid tag called the code component. So code components within the Power Platform allow you to create reusable controls and experiences. And here we already have built a video carousel using the code components as a technology. I have all the parameters included that I need to pass to this control. And with that, I have this additional web template for showing my video gallery created. What I'm going to do here is I'll switch back to my primary web template. This web template, I can refer to the video gallery template just by using the include liquid tag and passing on the name as a parameter. I also need to update the style of the request button. So I'll head over to the web files and locate for the CSS that's responsible for it. I find it, and primary button is a class. I see that it does not have a color, so I'll go ahead and add the font color for this. Now that my changes are done, I'm ready to upload them back to my portal. I bring up the terminal, and similar to how I had used the pack CLI command to download, I'm going to now use the upload command instance. My connection to the environment is already established, so all I have to do is use the upload command and submit the changes back to this site. Now that my changes are uploaded, let's check them out. As I refresh this page, I can see that my video gallery has come up for the training videos section. I also see that the serial number is now fetched properly and shown. And also the style sheet for the request support button is also fixed. Our Pages provides tools to support your application lifecycle management needs, such as working in your development environment on the site's source code in Visual Studio Code to it being source controlled in GitHub. We support continuous integration and continuous deployment workflows via GitHub Actions that allow you to deploy your portal's code and configuration to higher environments. Let's see how we did this for our Power Pages site. From the source control view, I can see the web template changes that I had earlier made. Now, from here, I'm making a comment. I sync the changes with GitHub. Now I'm in my GitHub repo where I can see the last set of comments that I had just made. I'll navigate back to show you some of the workflows that we have created for continuous integration and continuous deployment. Here I have one definition, that is deploy master to QA. It is supposed to run every night and it uses the Power Platform GitHub Actions for upload. Now I can go to Actions and actually invoke the QA action, the deploy to QA action on demand. The workflow has completed and now it must have deployed the configurations and customizations to the QA environment. To verify my deployment, I'll navigate to my QA portal and I can see that the portal deployment has successfully happened. Our pages support monitoring aspects of a site as well. Popular web analytics tools such as App Insights or offerings from other popular providers can be integrated easily with configuration. Let's see how the management app within Power Pages is used to enable traffic analysis with App Insights. To configure App Insights with my Power Pages site, I can open the Management app, and from the Enable Traffic Analysis area, I can enter the snippet that was provided by the App Insights tool. This has the instrumentation key as well. And once I click Save, the configuration is done. From Azure portal, I can go to my App Insights instance, and from Transaction Search, I can quickly see the traffic analysis in terms of traces and page views. Power Pages now has a turnkey feature that allows site files such as images, scripts, etc. to be stored and delivered via Content Delivery Network. That reduces the browser latencies for obtaining these files and improves experience for end users of a site. Let's see how easily the CDN capability was enabled for our site. The site is now functional. However, I've observed that the home page takes a lot of time to load, especially the images as they are high resolution. Power Pages provides a turnkey feature to enable CDN for your site's static content that I'm going to use here. I'm in the Admin Center in the Manage section. Here, I have the option to manage Content Delivery Network settings. With just a switch, I can enable Content Delivery Network. As I navigate through the site, once the CDN is enabled, I can see that the performance of my home page has greatly improved, where the images are not taking any time to load. Now that we have seen how a Power Pages site can be built using no-code, low-code, and professional development tools, I would like to highlight that we have customers who are successful with Power Pages. PwC built a portfolio rationalization site using Power Pages. Here, PwC's verbatim, and I quote, "Power Pages amplifies our professional developer impact. We re-platform a full-stack React.js web application solution onto a Power Pages site in just 6 weeks." We are very excited today to announce Power Pages and highly encourage you to get started trying it. Also, please join the community and share your ideas with us at the links mentioned. Thank you.